Chances are, if you clicked on this video, you are somebody who wants to build wealth that will last for you and will do the things for you that you want it to do. Hi everybody, my name is Michael Carlson. I'm a certified financial planner with Carlson Wealth Advisors, and today I want to give you a handful of tips to do just that, build wealth that lasts. And the very first thing I want to mention to you is getting out and avoiding bad debt, consumer debt, reaching for that house that you really can't afford, that you don't need, buying that luxury car from overseas that costs way too much, putting anything on a credit card that you couldn't pay for in cash right now. Don't do it. And if you do find yourself there, do everything you can to get out of that. Now, I'm not saying all debt is bad. Most people are going to need to go into debt to buy that first house. And that might be something that really is important for you and makes sense for you long term. Getting a good education that's going to allow you to have a nice career. Buying a business potentially could be a good reason to get into some debt. But those other things, avoid, get out of it, get to the point where you are saving and not borrowing. Now, once you do get to that point where you're saving, you want to focus all your energy on getting that first $100,000. Why is that such an important mark for me? Very simply, that's the hardest part. That's building the foundation of your investment portfolio. If you're building a house and you walk out and you see a big slab of concrete, not very exciting, but pretty important for the building of the house. It's not until you start seeing the frame go up in the wood and you can walk through the hallways that gets really exciting. But those first important pieces, it's going to take a long time to get there. Let's say you're putting aside $1,000 a month and you're going to earn on average about 10% per year. It's going to take about 6 years or so before you have that first $100,000. It's going to seem really slow going. And there are going to be times during that period where you might feel like,
man, this is worthless. I can't handle waiting this long.
But compounding interest can be your best friend as long as it's not, you're paying somebody else like on a credit card. That first $100,000, even though it took you 6 or so years to get there, by the time you've been doing that for 20 years, it's only going to take about a year or so to get that next $100,000 because all those dollars you've put in along the way build and accumulate and grow for you just like the money that you're continuing to put in. Patience will pay off in this regard. To that end, you want to be sure you're saving as much as possible. I like to see a savings rate of at least 20%. And that might seem crazy to you. Maybe you're in a position where all you can save is 5% right now. And if you can, that's wonderful as well. Keep doing that. Do that until you can do more. You get a raise, bump that up to 7%. You're able to cut back some expenses. Do that until you get to 10%. Build and build and build until you get to that 20%. And you will be so happy that you've done that. That's going to put you in a wonderful position to have so much more control over your future. Decide when and how you retire to be able to roll with the unexpected expenses that pop up in life. You're doing those things, you're going along, things are working out, things are looking great, and then you see this amazing opportunity that your best buddy tells you about.
Some private equity deal or some surefire stock that's gonna
go to the moon. Stick with the stuff that got you there. Stick with the stuff that works, that has a good track record. Now, there's no guarantee of anything in the future, but historically speaking, if you've got a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, that's going to pay off. That's going to work. So don't be sidetracked by those things that might seem really crazy and exciting. And finally, the last thing I want to mention is that of risk management, more specifically within your portfolio. You might be somebody that's really comfortable with the ebbs and flows of the market. Okay, we know that the market from time to time is going to take hits and things like that. Be aware of not just what you're comfortable with, but what you can handle. If you're 25 and your portfolio drops 30%, you're going to be able to have the time for that to come back and do great things for you. If you're 70 and you've got everything in the stock market and it drops 30%, what's that going to mean for your ability to take income? Don't just look at what you're comfortable with, but think about how much can you afford or how long can you last through some kind of market downturn? Do you have the time for things to come back? That's where you want to start looking at, okay, let's not have everything in stocks. Let's get some of those things into some more conservative assets. If you've got any questions about this, feel free to reach out. Love to have a chat with you, and have a great day.